This week, you have a teenager who's learning to drive or is driving already. Michigan State Police are reminding all drivers this is National Teen Driver Safety Week. And according to Michigan crash data, nearly 30% of all crashes involving drivers between 16 and 20 years old happen after school. 15,000 people involved with an accident with a teen between 3 and 6 p.m. That's the danger time. You know, they've been bottled up all day in school. They're excited. They're going to cheerleading practice or football practice or piano lessons or whatever. They're just happy to get out. And to help, Michigan's Strive for a Safer Drive program expanded this year to 35 schools in 15 counties. They'll do that now through November 1st. On the other end of our AT&T line, Jim Graham is the director of the Ford Driving Skills for Life program. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, that's really not a big surprise, is it, that the people that have been driving the shortest amount of time are involved in so many accidents?
No, not at all. I've been doing this for 10 years with the Ford Driving Skills for Life program, and it just makes sense. I mean, these people lack experience, and then you throw in distracted driving, and you've got issues. And so we work year-round. This one week in particular is designed to create awareness, but we work year-round in trying to provide advanced driving skills for them and also talk to parents about how they need to really get involved in their child's driving, because all the research really shows that makes a huge difference.
Does it specify boys or girls as being worse behind the wheel?
Boys tend to speed more, but but other than that, it's fairly equal. A lot of it has to do with, you talk about around school time, having additional passengers makes it much more dangerous. It's one of the big distractions. So graduated driver's licensing has been very effective in terms of limiting the number of those types of things and number of passengers, the amount of time parents need to drive with them, and seeing a big decrease in the number of crashes as a result of graduated driver's licensing. So that's helped. And then the other research that just came out, which reaffirms previous research, just shows that if parents get involved, and it's very simple things, setting rules on things like no cell phone use, no additional passengers, no speeding, no alcohol, and no driving as a passenger or a driver without a seatbelt. Basic things like that, if they get involved and set rules and monitor that, it can make a huge difference.
Yeah, it's always been my contention, too, that these kids who were raised in the video game era, when you can drive a car and smash it and flip it over and keep going, that they don't realize the violence that a real crash causes.
Well, that's true. These are heavy vehicles, and two vehicles colliding, that's not a good situation. Now, there's a lot of great technology in vehicles that's helping also, but no, you have to be serious when you're driving one of these vehicles down the road. And young people, and there's also older people that are guilty of this too, tend sometimes not to tend to take that for granted.
Well, they're indestructible at this age. And for instance, my teenager Harrison, he's 17. He wants to go to Cedar Point with his buddies, drive down there, right? So I say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll get a van and you guys can all pile in. I'll drive you down, and then I'll drive you back. And he's like, Dad, we really want to go on our own. We really want to drive ourselves. I'm like, you don't realize how cool it would be, because you're going to be tired, you're going to be outside all day. Just you could pile in and go to sleep, and you guys will be home before you know it. They want their independence in the vehicle, don't they? That's what it represents more than anything, I think.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
Privacy, I guess, too.
Yeah, of course. We all wanted that, but that's a good point you bring up. They're going to be tired driving home, those types of things. Multiple passengers. Those are situations that are likely to cause a crash, more than if you were driving them, for example.
What's the safest vehicle Ford makes for teenagers?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, most all of our vehicles are well beyond the crash safety test limits that the government requires. So but there are vehicles that you can get where they have my key on them. In fact, all of our vehicles do now, and that's simply where you can program a key so that you can limit things like top speed, and if they don't buckle up, the radio won't come on, things like that. But that's really a tough question. I mean, that's really up to the parent, I think. But people think larger vehicles are safer. In many cases, they are. But that's a tough question there.
Does my key have a bug with a listening device so you can hear what they're saying?
No, it doesn't have that. But there's technology out there you can get like that from the aftermarket. But
oh, really?
My key is just very simple to program. It's just basically you can program in 5 or 6 different things that can monitor the teen and control certain things they can and can't do, and it's very simple.
Can we get an adult my key that doesn't allow you to turn into a fast food restaurant?
Well, it could be programmed, believe it or not.
Big Brother is watching, and sometimes it requires self-imposition. That would be it'd be like the invisible fence for dogs. Only you put it around Taco Bell so you can't go through the drive-through window, particularly late at night, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for what Ford is doing. It's 8 before the hour. Michael Patrick Shields, talk with your teenagers, drive with them, ride with them, I guess is probably the moral to that story. The Sports